What is going on YouTube? My name is Harlow Kicks, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 Wave Runner and just how far this shoe has come since its initial release back in 2017. I want to talk about kind of the hatred that it experienced upon its initial release to kind of how it's become one of the most beloved pairs of sneakers in a lot of people's collections today. But before we do that, I do want to jump into some of the details on this shoe that make it special to me and the details that I think make it special to a lot of other people as well. So clearly the Wave Runner has taken a lot of inspiration from sort of a 90s runner or a clunky dad shoe. That is what makes up the design of this sneaker, and I absolutely love it. Let's start off with the upper on the 700. There's so much going on with this shoe, and it all comes together so nicely. Let's talk about the materials. So all over the shoe we've got suede, we've got leather, and we've got mesh. So on the toe box you've got some nice gray suede. You've got two different shades of mesh in this aqua blue and this sort of sea green. I don't know, kind of these oceany vibes, hence the Wave Runner name. You've also got black suede paneling on the toe box as well. Running up the lace lids, you've got these nice panels of leather. You find two different types of mesh on the tongue and then on the side paneling that conceals the 3M Adidas stripes. Those are both in kind of a different gray. And you've got another kind of mesh wrapping around the sock liner, which is more of a widespread mesh, also in a gray color. Then you've got more suede on the heel, concealing additional 3M holes. And then you've got even more black suede covering the 3M windows found on both the medial and lateral side of the shoe. An absolutely crazy upper. You got the laces on here as well in this really nice sort of pale neon yellow color with these really nice hits of 3M tabs to keep the laces on there, which I think looks absolutely incredible. So the upper itself is already very unique from a design perspective, and that's not even to mention the outsole and the midsole on the 700. So the midsole, as you can clearly tell and as you've known for several years now, is this nice thick midsole with these really cool sculpted designs in them. I just love the kind of edges and the ridges you can find in them. These two ovals found towards the heel of the shoe are awesome, and then this really interesting sort of pattern found more towards the front or the forefoot is just absolutely crazy, which you can see on both sides as well. I just love the sculpture of the midsole. It is one of the coolest midsoles I think I've ever seen on a sneaker. And then we move on to the outsole, and you have this really kind of organic looking outsole with these open boost windows so you can see into the Adidas Boost technology found in the midsole, which is absolutely awesome. And all these design elements really make this shoe special to me, and I think they really make this shoe special to a lot of people now as well. So with that out of the way, let's get into the main point of the video, and that is sort of to document or take a look at sort of how this shoe was absolutely hated when it first came out to now how it's really a lot of people's favorite Yeezy model of all time. So when the Wave Runners came out back in 2017, they were not exactly received well by the sneaker community. There were so many people who were just absolutely trashing on this shoe. I'm going to pull up some comments now from Seth Fowler's video that he made back in 2017 when it was released, and just so you can see like how almost angry people were about this shoe. So when it first came out, nobody was buying into it. There was a few people who liked it at the initial release and who stuck by it. But for the most part, there were a lot of people who were totally trashing the design of the 700. Now, I kind of want to talk about how it has transitioned from that into what it is today, which is, like I said before, a lot of people's favorite Yeezy model of all time. So, to put this into perspective, when the Wave Runners came out in 2017, the dad shoe trend was sort of just beginning to take off. So when these came out, I think Kanye was actually slightly ahead of the times when it came to the design of the 700. Quite frankly, I think people in 2017, at least in the sneakerhead community, or sneaker community, were just not ready for this design element that the Wave Runner offered, the 700 offered. So I think people were kind of caught off guard and shocked by the change that Kanye had made from sneakers like the 350 V2, which is primarily a prime knit upper, a very sleek form-fitting shoe, to all of a sudden this bulky, kind of ugly dad shoe. So I think a lot of people were just caught off guard, and because of that, they absolutely did not like this shoe at all. But I think as people started to realize how limited this shoe was when it first came out, people started to buy into it, and that probably got a lot of people on board. But more importantly, I think as the dad shoe trend sort of took off in fashion, people finally came around to the 700. So I think there was this combination of, oh, okay, well, it was really hyped and limited, so people wanted it for that reason. And then I also think as time has moved on, people were sort of adjusted to the dad shoe trend as other brands released their various versions on the dad shoe. So the 700, in my opinion, has gotten to where it is today, partly due to hype, and that's probably specifically to some people who want it just because everybody else now wants it, but also because the designs found on the shoe have sort of become more normal, more the norm in fashion, at least in streetwear. And I think that has certainly helped aid this sneaker along in its journey. So it's pretty crazy to see how polarizing a shoe can be. When it first came out, these were absolutely despised by many, and now it is a lot of people's grails, including mine. I am so lucky to have a pair in my collection. So that's kind of just all I wanted to talk about in this video. It's very interesting to me how a piece of fashion, like a fashion article, can have such a big impact on the community, on the culture. So that's all I have to say on the Wave Runners. Absolutely dope shoe. For anybody out there watching, if you want to leave your comments, feel free to do so below. I'd love to read them if there's anybody out there who wants to share them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.